Good morning and welcome again to another daily reading by Acro Harmony Guidance on Coffee and Cards. I'm thinking maybe we'll be changing it from daily to every couple of days, just because it seems like my family situation makes it a little bit difficult. I will be trying to do it every day, but whether that works out or not is, completely up to the universe. So, whatever's meant to be, will be. Let's get started. Do you have coffee? I have coffee. Anyway. Whew. Okay, so today we need to focus on the way that we communicate with those around us and the way that we are communicating with ourselves. And we want to, these feel like two separate topics. So first I just want to focus quickly on the way that we treat ourselves. We may not notice, and it's like with the choices that you make, you're deciding whether to treat your body the way that it needs to be treated or not. But also the people that we spend time with, the situations that we put ourselves in, and the energies connected to that. So if we spend our time with people that we know bring us down and are a negative influence on us, that make us do things or encourage us to do things that we really don't feel is aligned with our preferred future, that's really sabotaging yourself and being really unkind to yourself. It's not aligned with your higher self and what they are trying to guide you to do. So yeah, so make sure that you're aware that the choices you make in your life, whether it's who you're spending time with, whether you're spending time with anyone else or you're just being a recluse, whether you're choosing to spend time in nature or stay holed up in your house, or whether you're choosing to eat bad food or whatever, it's all communicating a message to yourself that you are undeserving of health and like prosperous and wealthy life. It feels like that's you pushing yourself down and saying, we're not worthy of listening to our higher self. We're not worthy of following our guidance that our body gives us. If we feel a certain way when we eat certain food and we eat it anyway, then you're showing yourself that even if you do communicate with yourself, you're not willing to listen, which is not a good feeling. Imagine if you were a small child and you were telling somebody exactly what you need, and they kept doing the opposite and showing that they don't care what you need or what you want. Just imagine how that would make you feel, and know that there is a part of you that is reacting that way, whether it is buried deep down or not. It is there, and it is feeling that way 100%. And I don't know if you knew, but my cat just climbed onto my lap, so yeah, he's here for some chills and some cuddles. His name's Archie. But piggybacking off of that, I suppose, obviously doing those things is communicating that to yourself, your inner self, your inner child, and all of that stuff. But then really think about the way you would feel if you were that child, and then realize that that is also how others in your life feel when you treat them the same kind of way. And I know that it's not your job to like manage other people's emotions unless they are literally your child and they have no idea how to manage their emotions, and it's your job to kind of walk them through it and teach them. And I know we don't always feel like we have time. That's literally what being a parent is. That's literally your job as a parent. And if you don't understand how to process your own emotions, I would say that that's definitely the first step. You need to figure out how to do that, because it's your job to teach somebody else. And it's quite difficult to teach something effectively if you have no idea how to do it yourself. And sometimes things are easier in theory than they are, to practically do it. But if you don't even have the theory down, looks like that's your next direction. You need to figure that out. So, managing your emotions, yes. But the first thing you need to do is acknowledge your emotions. You can't just be like, there's a feeling, I'll deal with that. And then you like push it down. The first step in that is realizing the way that you're communicating with yourself through the signs. And by signs, I mean what you're showing your body that you're willing to feed it. What you're showing your energy, what situations and what energy you're willing to place yourself in. Obviously, we gather energy from around us, and the energy field of everything around us affects our energy field. So what I'm saying is that if you put yourself in situations like you're watching, for instance, I want to say horror movies, even though I love horror movies and I love watching them. But if you are putting yourself in a situation where you're watching these things where there's so much negativity like in it, and it's based around negativity, and then you're letting the vibration of that negativity come into your life, and you're letting yourself sit in that vibration, rather than if you watch something that was full of love and just laughter and just wholesome goodness. If you do that, you're putting yourself in the energy of good vibrations, and that is what your body wants. That's what it needs. And we have a choice with things like that, with the kind of movies that we watch. I'm not saying never watch a horror movie again in your life, because you can, and I'll release maybe it'll be part of this, so I won't say anything. There may be something to help release the energy of that situation. I was gonna make a meditation, but there might be a simpler way without meditating. The information will come to me with the next card, I'm sure. I'm not sure, but it probably will. Anyway, that's usually how it works. So yeah, we need to make sure that we are communicating with other people in a healthy way as well. If you have a partner and you're showing them the opposite to what you want to show them, like for instance, if your partner goes out of their way to do something for you, but they did it wrong, or they like got the wrong thing or something, it's important to acknowledge the fact that they did the thing, even though your first reaction might be to say, you did not do that right, or this is disgusting, or something like that. Like, I myself find this trap an easy one to fall into. I'm seeing my cat slowly slip down the end of the bed right when I said fall into. I hope the gap isn't big enough for him to go in there. Anyway, yeah. And obviously, the kind of relationship that you want with your partner is a loving one, right? A loving, supportive one. That's the whole point of having a partner, isn't it? You want to be with somebody who supports you and who you support, and there's a give and take of beautiful energy. And sometimes we grow so complacent because we're just so used to having them around, or we're used to, if we're in our own shit, we would project our own shit onto them. And you may even see them doing something that you do, it bothers you when you do it, so you have a go at them for doing it, even though actually you're annoyed at yourself for doing that thing, and you're trying to teach yourself it's not okay to do that. But then you see them doing it and you think, that's a terrible example to set for me because I don't want to do that. So then you're like, how dare you do that? Anyway, let me know if you do that. Tell me in the comments if you do that, because I know I can't be the only one doing that. Okay. But it's just the small things that communicate things. That's not necessarily what we're saying to them, but what we're showing them, because the things we do is a form of communication as well, not just words. And the energy that we give them, just like watching the horror movies, is the energy we're giving ourselves. That's the way that we're communicating with each other to say what we're worthy of. And we don't want our partner to feel like we are telling them that they are worthy of anything less than our love and our support. Okay, I feel like I need to give more examples. So, next time you see your partner, or maybe it's your parent, or maybe it's your best friend, or a guardian or something, somebody that is significant in your life that you feel you should be appreciating. When you look at them, I want you to acknowledge the first thought that you have. Like, what's the first thing that I think? Is it me wanting something from them? Is it me feeling something about them? Am I feeling positive or negative? Is it a mixture of both? Why am I feeling that way? And rather than communicating your need that you have of them, communicate the way that you want them to perceive your energy. So if you want them to know that you love them, I was going to say I love you. Not sure if that fit in that sentence that way. If you want them to know that you love them, and even though your initial thought was, I need your support right now, I need you to do something for me, I want you to think to yourself, I want them to do this thing because I trust them to do this thing, because I rely on them, because, and it all comes down to the fact that you want them in your life for a reason. I want you to think about what that reason is. And why do you trust them to do this thing? Why do you want to trust them to do this thing? Why are they important to you? So you can write these things down Write these questions down and write what you think now before you confront them. Write what you think the answer will be, and then when you look at them and say these things, is it the same? Is it what you thought it would be? Just curious. Obviously, all of the messages I have for you guys, I am supposed to be following this advice right along with you, so I will have to do this activity, and I will be recording myself doing most of these activities so that I can put them on my Patreon for people who support me. Yeah, if you're interested, just to give you a better idea of like the process and to know that you're not doing it alone. So yeah, if you have any good friends that you feel would benefit from these messages and this information and these like activities that we get during our sessions, then you should definitely get them to tune in with you or save the video for when you're together and write these practices down and try them out together, and that'll be an awesome bonding experience. Alright, and it will also help you get more in tune with your intuition, which is always good. Alright, so I'm gonna run out of time. I've only done one card. Okay, I'll do another. It feels like so many thoughts are running through my head right now. I'm just trying to pinpoint one. It feels like sometimes we can be lost in our emotions, and the answer I don't wanna give things away from the activity that you're meant to be doing, but it's telling me the answer, the real answer is love. So the reason you depend on people is that you love them, but sometimes we put so much emphasis on what we think love is meant to be that we kind of lose focus on the feeling of it and the experience of it. So if you are relying on your partner and you're thinking to yourself, why do I rely on you to do this? And it may feel more like a heavy reliance on them, like it's what some people mistake for love. When you just really want to be with someone, you depend on them and you're like clinging to them, and you call that love. And the truth is, there is love there, but that's not what love is. And we love people and things to different degrees, and we can love people and things in different ways. And if you find yourself depending on someone so much that when they fall short of your expectations, you get mad at them, then it's because your expectation of the way that they show their love is different to the reality of it. And you gotta understand that the way we love is not the same way that other people are going to love us. And it's a very unique and individual experience, and it's not their fault that we're disappointed with how they're doing it, because it's just not how they do. But you need to notice the things that they do, because that is the way that they show that they love us. And we need to appreciate the things that they are doing, rather than finding or looking for the things that they are not doing, the things that we're expecting that aren't showing up. And if we want something done which our partner is just not doing or refusing to do, then the reality is we are the one that wants to do it and not them. And if you don't feel like you have the necessary skills, you can, and you think that they do, perhaps the thing that is true for that is that you ask them. You open your heart and you go to them and you ask them, if you have free time right now, can you please teach me how to do this thing so that I can do it myself next time it needs to be done? Please. And then going through that experience together and them helping you grow in that way is what that relationship was for. And well, I'm not saying that that's the end of the relationship once they teach you. It's not what I mean, obviously. A relationship is meant to be more than just two people tolerating each other. It's two people living side by side, accepting each other for who they are, and growing together. And you can't force someone else to grow. If you want them to go fix something because you know they can, or go mow the lawn or whatever, and you don't know how to use the lawnmower, then literally ask them, when you want it done, ask them to take you to it and teach you how it's done so you can then do that. And you will feel more accomplished and you will have had that bonding time, and there will be more love between you as long as you're appreciating the way that they're teaching you. And if you're expecting them to teach you a certain way, just like you're expecting them to love you a certain way, and they're doing it differently, try to change your perspective a little bit, because it's not about how you thought it was going to be. It's about the way it's unfolding. That's important. And the way that you're receiving it, that's important. Don't reject what the universe is giving you. Don't reject the lessons or the opportunities for love. Just witness how they're unfolding and let yourself live in it. That is important, and that is the message for today. And I've gone a little bit over time, so I'm gonna have to go now. But thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have a spare $5 a month, then consider following me or supporting me on Patreon. And you know, there are gonna be perks for if you do more, but I'm at the beginning of a new journey right now, just right along with you guys. So you might have to bear with me because I'm a little bit, you know, yeah, just trying my best. And that's my life. So if you want your own individual personalized reading, I will definitely be more than happy to do that. You just need to go to my Facebook page, which will be in the description, and just press the book now button and choose a time that's good for you, and I'll make it work, okay? And there'll be two options. There'll be one for either a half-hour session. That can be a video call if you want. You don't have to be on video if you don't want to. And that will be going for 30 minutes. That'll be $60. Or you can pay by the minute, so it can go as long as you choose, and that'll be $2 a minute. So I love you guys, and I hope that this message has helped you, and because I know it will help a lot of people. And I just hope you have a wonderful day. I love you guys.